Hey, all right. Yeah, I think this is time for another one, and I just want to talk a little bit about ambition, about the cost of ambition, and if you aspire to do something, what you've got to give up in order to get it. I've just been thinking like I'm quite an ambitious person. There's a lot I'd like to do, a lot of things that um, I hope I can do one day. Um, but it's also understanding that I can be as ambitious as anything. But if my actions don't map to it, then what's the point? Then I'm just saying it. So I can say, listen, I'm good at this, I'm good at that. But if I never actually put the work in, then it can be very dangerous. It's a slippery scope, and that's what the internet's allowing for. Is that it's sorry, it's just I'm literally parked in a dead end somewhere, so someone's just driving in. But that's what it's about. Is that I'm ambitious enough to know what I want, and I have the audacity to think I can try get there. But if I never work on it and really get it into it, and that's then what's the point? I would have wasted so much time. But also, it's also an understanding that there's a cost of entry. Is that the things that you're ambitious about, the things that you want, there's a cost of entry, and that's what gives it value. It's the fact that it's super hard to be an Olympic athlete. It is phenomenally difficult to build a business, and it is really hard to be an emotionally well-rounded person. But if you're ambitious enough to do it, you've got to put the work in. And so the cost of entry is putting the effort in, and it varies. The cost of entry to be a good athlete is obsession. I'm so fascinated by the stories of what people gave up, or what was it really like in their hearts? When did it hurt the most? The things that they gave up to be where they are today, and whether ambition was worth it. Like, that's even something I play with. Like, I want all these things, but is it worth it? Does it mean anything at the end of the day? And what happens if I lose? The amount of things that I've given up to be doing the things I do. Like, I dropped out of high school. All right, I I missed out on that whole friendship thing, and I think about that. I think about who am I, and this is like I lost all my friends because of that. And then, like, I was slowly trying to get it back, but it's not the same. I didn't go to a matric dance. I didn't do all that, like, kind of thing. Now I'm working a proper job. I have responsibility to the company. I've got to pay a salary if I don't make a sale. And so the cost of my ambition is accepting full responsibility. That is terrifying. All right, it's super stressful, and nights I don't sleep. But my ambition is that either this breaks me or I keep going. And so that's kind of this it plays, is that there's a cost of entry that gives it value. Is that the value that I wanted then, and my ambition is to be financially stable. Boom, 5 years, 10 years from now, whatever it is. And I want to be in a position where I can then do the things that I want to build on top of that. And the cost of me doing that, the audacity I have to believe that I, as an individual, have the talent and the skills to be financially separate of a system and build my own business in an extremely difficult market. My ambition to do that, the cost is that I never stop. I have 7:30 appointments. I have administrative responsibilities to do for myself. I have responsibilities for my clients. I don't get to just be like, it's fine, I can do it tomorrow. Or I do, but then I don't get the ambition. Then I don't really have the ambition, because I allow myself to not go that extra mile. So it's something I'm thinking about a lot. I'm also aware that I'm very boring to talk to. So shout out to those people who think I'm boring. It's not for you. This is for me. So don't watch if you don't like it. But yeah, coming back to ambition, is that and it's hard, because you can want something, or you have in your life, or you want, but you can never. Oh, sorry, there's an email. Anyway, so you can want things in life, but if you're never ambitious enough, or if you can be super ambitious, all right, extremely ambitious, and you can know what you want, but if you never map your actions to it, then you're just a dreamer, and that's fine. But then you need to accept you're a dreamer, and don't tell people that, I'm going to be the best in the world one day, but then your actions never map to it, because there's a cost of entry to doing the things you want to do. And that cost of entry is short-term happiness, possibly a friendship that is toxic, things in your life that you have to give up for that thing you want at the end of it. And that's the truth, is that just like I understand that when I make a financial transaction to gain an asset, that's the cost. And people have this kind of idea, and there's this kind of like general thing that, we get everything. And I speak like we get whatever we want. And I speak from experience because I'm probably one of the most entitled people from age 11 till about 16, when I realized that I'm not as good as I think I am. I was super entitled. I was like, no, I can do it, like never put the work in. And it was fine because I was kind of talented enough to ride off the back of it, that I was like, listen, my talent's going to carry me through, it's fine. But now, like, that's not what real life is like. And it's a rude awakening when you realize, listen, I don't get to BS my way through this, is that I've actually got to have something of substance, and the market and reality is going to decide that. So if you have the audacity to think you're of value and that you're going to do something great, fantastic, excellent. But you need to know that on the reverse of that is that you better take responsibility and do it. Otherwise, you're just going to get slapped around so hectically and your entire world's going to be shattered. So I'm ambitious enough to want stuff. I'm ambitious enough to want things out there that I don't have. And I'm ambitious enough to do it too. It's just that I'm also very aware that ambition is not enough, and there's got to be that work, that backing of work to make it valuable. Like, this whole point is that everything I do, these late night appointments, these early morning things, the fact that I'm stressed most of the time, the fact that I don't really chill, like, inverted commas. I don't really have a hobby. I'm just constantly like, okay, what's the next thing? That's the cost I pay for the ambition I have. And it's going to be interesting to see whether it's worth it one day. Obviously there's other things in life that provide value and things like that. I'm just talking purely on, I'm also ambitious enough to be happy, which in of itself is an extremely hard thing. And, I'm also just like touching on, it's like, this is the easiest it's ever been to be alive. This is the easiest it's ever been to be a human being and survive. And so if you're ambitious to have anything more than that, then, like, listen, there's millions of people before you that have struggled to eat or to have shelter or to stay warm. So be stoked that you have a house. Be stoked with what you have. But if you're ambitious enough to do more or want more, then you've got to be better. You've got to be good at something. Don't just front. Like, I know I'm not that good, but I'm also like probably cocky enough to know that I'm not that bad either. So yeah, but that's also my self-confidence. But that's the thing, is that be ambitious, but then back it with work, because otherwise you're just wasting everyone's time, including your own. And you're going to have such a rude awakening one day when you realize you're not actually that good, because I know I did. And yeah, so yeah, that's what I have to say. I've got to get back to work. Cheers.